Oh, gentlemen, we are live. I've lost my little stand as well. My little stand that you usually put this on has gone for a broughton. Bear with me. I need to get this sorted out, don't I, really? Will not stay there. Come on. Wait there, I'm just going to get this flipping stand. Give me a second. Let me just, first of all, let's plug this thing in. Yellow. Let's plug that in so you can see me. Let me just get this set up. This flipping thing. That we need. Where's the bit that goes in it? Oh, we haven't even. Forget it. Forget it. Oh, good evening, Liverpool School of Plastering. Zazzy, hey, he's back. I haven't been anywhere. Well, I have. Gentlemen, I can't. Do you know what this is? I need to get a new light ring for my phone to go in, because this is a pain in the ass. Stay still. I might not be able to touch the phone to go through the comments. Oh, gentlemen, do you know what? I've had a right week on, so it's definitely time to crack a cold one. Oh, how are we all anyway? Are you all looking forward to a week's graft or what? Matt from Norfolk signing in. Nice to see you all online. What have we got here? Ian Davis, Darren, Zazzy, who else? Douglas Life, Evening Kirk, yeah, Sam Dunn. How are you doing, Dunny? Oh, gents, so tonight is going to be the live draw for the DeWalt cordless mixer. So, first of all, apologies, because if you don't know, the live draw was supposed to be last week, and it was my anniversary last week. Now, I'm a bit of a Grinch, so I know I come across on YouTube as dead happy and bubbly, but ultimately I'm a miserable bastard. I am the most miserable man you'll ever meet in your life. So what the sort of the deal is, when it comes to Christmases and birthdays and stuff, I'm terrible. I'll hold my hands up. I don't like the fact that society says you've got to make a big deal. You know, Halloween, you've got to spend money on Halloween. It's Christmas, you've got to buy Christmas. I hate it, I resist it. My philosophy is, I'll buy people gifts when it comes from the heart. If you buy someone a present at Christmas, then it's like you've bought it because you'll buy it. So where's the appreciation for it? You know, you give someone a present at Christmas, to go, thanks, I put it with the rest. Thanks, I put it with the rest. Whereas you buy someone a gift out the blue, you know, a one-off, you get someone a nice gift because you thought of them. Doesn't that mean so much more? That you know, that to me is more important when someone buys you the gift out the blue. Now, that being said, I don't do nothing at Christmas, birthdays, the Grinch. My family hate me for it because I don't get them nothing, but I'll buy them stuff now and then. Sam, who just signed in then, Sam Dunn, Evening Sausage, she put, Sam Dunn's my brother-in-law. He'll tell you, he recently just received a gift. Now, I shouldn't give and make a big scene about it, but, you know, only a little thing. But I thought of him whilst I was away. I got him a nice little plaque like what Kieran gets me from abroad. I got a nice little plaque because I thought of him. I know what he likes. And this little sign, I've seen it, and I thought, you know what, that is the perfect present for him. And I love him. He's my brother-in-law, so I got him it anyway. Now, that being said, one thing I do celebrate, I don't know what's going on here, sorry. I've just got, it's come up, something's gone wrong. I can't see your comments. All the comments have just disappeared, so tap through trial, see if they come back. There we go. There we go. Everyone's back again. Ronnie Barker, Chris Wells, Eric C. That being said, one thing I always celebrate, one thing that I never, ever miss is mine and the wife's anniversary. Our anniversary, to me, that's my big day. That's her big day. That's the big thing that I celebrate. Me and the missus I always make an effort for our anniversary, and I'm not into buying cards and all stuff like that, but I always like to take my missus away. Me and her go away every year. Now, the reason I'm telling you all this, because you're probably thinking, what the flipping heck has this got to do with plastering? The reason I'm telling you all this is every year to take the missus away. We usually go abroad, just me and her. We leave the kids and we go abroad. As you know, I've got a little baby boy. He's coming up to 9 months old. He hasn't got a passport. So we weren't going anywhere. We can't leave him with the kids. My eldest daughter's 20. She could look after him, but my missus wouldn't leave him. So I thought in my head, we ain't going to go nowhere. You know, we're just staying at home. And the live draw for the DeWalt mixer was on Friday. Well, knowing the situation, my missus, God bless her, she didn't know about the live draw. So she booked us a caravan in Wales, just something cheap, because she's sorted this herself, you know, as a little surprise for me, a little gift to me, little getaway to Wales. And we were leaving Friday dinner time. Well, the draw was on Friday evening. So, sorry for swearing. You can imagine the stress that this caused me, because I don't want to not go, just to, you know, as far as she's concerned, so you can talk to your friends on YouTube. I'm like, I've got to do the draw. But anyway, my plan was, I'm going to print the names off here, because my printer is, I'm not going to move my phone because it's a pain in the ass, because my phone keeps tipping over. But my printer's here, so I'm print all the names off. I was going to go abroad, get a bit of signal, and do the live draw from the caravan. Two things happened. First off, my printer had no paper. It didn't have enough paper to print all the names. Or maybe it did, I don't know. So I've rushed home from work, because I worked Friday morning. I've rushed home and we're waiting to go. So all I've got to do is print these names off and go. That's it. Print them, go. We're good to go. No paper. Now, I'm on my laptop, and as you know, I'm not the best with technology, and I'm pressing print, and I've put paper back in the paper tray. It's full of paper. The fucking thing is full of paper. I can't fit no more paper in it. And I'm pressing print, and she's moaning at me. The baby's crying. Everyone's bags are packed, and we're all waiting to go. Sorry. Messages coming through. We're all waiting to go in the car, and I'm pressing print, and it's saying no paper, and like the paper's refilled, and go on the printing app and reset. Oh my flipping! There was a bit of a meltdown on my behalf. Anyway, now I don't need to think bad of me, but we have no longer got a laptop. It's gone. I'm not going to tell you what happened to it, but you can imagine, can't you? The stress levels were going quite high, and this thing would not cooperate. I've had in my mind I'm going to get a new laptop for a while, because it's quite slow, and with its lack of cooperation, it basically went to heaven sooner than expected. So that was the start of it. Got to where we were going. In Wales, and there was ultimately no signal at the caravan. At all, like zero. I had to go to the end of the flipping street to get any signal on my phone. I tried to upload a video. I couldn't get on Facebook. I had to just forget about it, because it's not even worth thinking about it. I'm there with me missus and kids to have a nice time, so I had to just forget about it. Now, to add into this excitement, just so you know as well, I was fasting. I've stopped now. I'm having a week off, but I fasted for a month. So if you think I'm looking a bit trimmer, it's because I wasn't eating. I was doing a 24-hour day fast, so I was only eating once a day. So you can imagine, the laptop got destroyed. I've got no signal on my phone. I'm stressing out because I want to get this done, you know. But anyway, and I'm starving, so I was getting a little bit agitated. I had to just wipe the slate clean and think to myself, right, I'll do it when I get back. So anyway, now you know. I just wanted to let you know that's why the live draw didn't happen last week. But here we are. I still haven't got a laptop. I've managed to get the thing done on my phone with all the names, and I've connected my phone to my printer, and I can do a bit, like, I've printed all the names off, and we're all in here ready to go. So, hope you're all looking forward to it. If you've chipped in and put your name down to win a DeWalt mixer, then we'll do the draw in a minute. There's potentially another prize coming as well, so don't log off. If you don't win the mixer and you put your name down, don't go. And then after that, we'll have a little Q&A. We'll have a little Q&A session whilst I've got you all online, let you know what I've been up to and what have you, and touch base with a few of you and see what you have been up to yourselves. And before we do the draw now, I'm just going to, it's 20 past now, so we'll do the draw. Give it 5 minutes. Give it 5 minutes to give everyone a chance to just jump on. And then we'll see who is going to be the proud owner of the flipping DeWalt mixer with 2 9-amp-hour batteries. What's going on here now? So who've we got here now? Yeah, Zazzy, I need a new laptop. You're flipping 100%. Right. Darren, all right, Kirk, mate. Lovely to see you, Darren. Ian Daveness. Evening, Kirk. Andrew Hewitt, my old mate. Andrew Hewitt always says, fuck plastering off and plasterers, he hates plasterers. Your message was held for review. Andrew, I've told you, you little sausage, if you keep commenting on my stuff, YouTube's algorithm will keep giving you my stuff. So if you don't like plasterers, stop watching the videos, mate, because I'll keep popping up in your algorithm otherwise. The more you interact with YouTube on stuff you don't like, the more you'll get it. You've got to stop interacting, mate, and watch videos that you do like and interact with them. All right. I don't want to block you from the channel, Andrew, because I believe that deep down you're probably a lovely bloke. Work Safe Renovations. Yes, Kirk, good to see you. And you, mate. Tim Bell. Whoop, whoop. Who've we got here? Daniel Bates just got back from cricket. Long drive down back to London. Fair play, Daniel. Ronnie Barker. Good to see you, buddy. Chris Rolls, don't do it on the way to the shop to get us some treats. Hurry up, Chris, you got 5 minutes, mate. You better get a pedal on. Get yourself a few cans of lager whilst you're there. Jimmy's Building Services. Hi, everyone. Good luck. Jimmy, I said to you, didn't I? I said tonight will be the night. We'll jump on a live and we'll do it tonight because it's oh, Jimmy, I don't know how much you caught to that, mate. I know you've been keeping on the case of the live draw. So if you've missed the start, mate, then you'll get the whole gist of what's happened to me up to now. Flipping heck. Oh, guys, as well. Has anyone of you ever tore your cruciate ligaments? Don't want to keep whinging about it and going on about it, but I've tore my cruciate ligaments, and I don't know what the deal is with this. I don't know if it's going to get better or not. I don't know if I spoke to someone literally today, a young lady that tore her cruciate ligament. One of my wife's friends, she's into the horses, and she tore her cruciate ligaments, and she said she could walk on it like I can, just fine. Walking is not a problem. It's just bending it. And she told me that hers was completely snapped and she could still walk just fine because the other muscles sort of take over. And she's had to have keyhole surgery. She had to go and put in for an operation. I don't know. Don't want to think about it, but hopefully, I'm just fingers crossed that mine's going to get better. It's been nearly a month now. So I don't know if any of you boys have been through it or not, but I'm not enjoying it one bit, you know. Flipping, I end up sweating, you know, the pain when it's by the end of the day, trying to do flipping rendering jobs and all sorts of it with it. Ollie Carter, take him as hand luggage. So I'm just going yeah, Ronnie, 24-hour garage has bailed you out most times. You've got the wife a petrol can for your anniversary. You flipping bad man, you are. Daniel Bates, listen, don't start. The laptop was faster than the owner. Don't start, mate. I'm down as it is. Don't kick a man whilst he's down, mate. um, Paul Armstrong, don't knock it. No signal helps you reset. Paul, do you know, I am 100% with you. And usually I wouldn't care. But the thing with me is, mate, when I say I'm going to do something, when I made a commitment. This is the thing. It plays on my conscience because you guys give me your money. I mean, I know it's only £8 or 16 quid, depending on where you chipped in. It's not life-changing amount of money, but I've got your money. You guys have entrusted me with it. So the fact that I couldn't deliver on the date that I said, mate, it was genuinely pissing me off because I'm thinking, ultimately, this is my reputation on the line here. I don't want you you just shouldn't mess around with people's money. If I say, it's like when I owe someone wages, if I say I'm going to pay someone on the day, I'll move hell to pay them on the day, Nobody ever waits on money off me. If I owe someone something, I pay them. So the fact that I had you guys had bought tickets, so to speak, little virtual tickets, and you're waiting for the live draw, and I'm not doing it, and I've just gone AWOL, disappeared without a trace, it was playing on my conscience, mate, so. But I did enjoy the peace and quiet, once I just accepted that there was nothing I could do, I just chilled out for a little bit, so. Let's see, any other comments? What have we got? Right, okay. The time's up, we'll do the live draw anyway. Let's just see. Paul Crockford just said, yeah, I did my ACL on the 5th of March. 90% there. Now it only hurts a little at the night. As you get older, it takes longer. I don't know how old you are, Paul. I still think of myself as young. Like I'm a young 36-year-old, if you can get one of those. So, yeah, flipping heck. March. Where are we now? March. April, May, June. Yeah, flipping heck. 6 months. Don't fancy waiting 6 months for this thing to get better. Anyway, 50. Yeah, you're well older than me, Paul, so I should be better. If it took... So I'm only taking the piss. If it took you 6 months to get better, Paul, hopefully it's just 3 months for me, eh? Oh, flipping heck. Do you know what, mate? Gentlemen, I am not shitting you, and I'm not scared of a bit of pain. Listen, to live with my missus, right, you've got to be able to take a bit of pain. Trust me. I can handle a little bit of pain, but I'm not joking yet. The agony that I get when I put weight on it and bend my knee. I can walk on it. If I keep my leg locked, fine. I can bend it ever so slightly offset. The minute I get to, like, I don't know, a 25-degree bend, oh my word, it feels like someone's got a knife in my knee. Like, literally, instantly, it makes me sweat. The pain is that much, I instantly start, like, dripping with sweat. And the leg just goes, it just folds in half. But anyway, you're not arsed, are you? No one's arsed, ultimately, so it's not worth me whinging about it. Now, I haven't got a helper at this present moment in time, so I've already cut up all the names, dropped them in my little tin here. They're all in here, ready to go. DeWalt cordless mixer with 2 9-amp-hour batteries. Just mixing them up a little bit. I've got one. I've got one. Sorry, I'm not looking at the names. I'm just making sure I've only got one. The winner of the mixer is email address bradwhatmore92@yahoo.com. Brad Whatmore. Can you see that? Come on, focus. Right there. Sorry, guys. Focus, for flip's sake. Wait there, let me just turn that off. See if that does it. There you go. Brad Whatmore 92 at yahoo.com. You, my friend, have won yourself about 700 quid's worth of drill. I will be on the phone to you very shortly. Let me just pin this on my board a second, guys, so I don't lose it. Now, congratulations, Brad. I'll phone you up as soon as we jump off this live, mate. If you're online now, I will phone you very shortly and we'll get that whisk sent out to you, mate, on Amazon. So congratulations, Brad. You've won. Now, don't go. Guys, don't go, because there was a little bit extra money in the kitty. So, not a lot, but there was enough to buy a 1200 speed skim with the pole attachment. Now, the reason I decided to go for speed skim was because you haven't got to break it in and all the rest of it, and I think they're a fantastic tool. So there's enough money to get a 1200 speed skim with a pole attachment this time. Last time I gave away a couple of speed skims without the pole attachments, but there wasn't enough for two big speed skims, so I just thought we'll do it with the pole attachments as well. So let's get another name. Digging deep. This is now for, make sure I've already got the one. Speed skim. Bobby Heathrow 123 at hotmail.com. See that? Bobby Heathrow 123 at hotmail.com. Bobby, you have won a speed skim. 1200 speed skim with pole attachments. There you go, mate. Congratulations. You're the winner of a speed skim. Oh. Right, I will shortly call you both up. Okay, so, gentlemen, congratulations to both of yous. I'll phone yous very shortly. Now, that's that done. Well done, boys. I'm flipping glad to just have that out the way. So, I do apologise for keeping you waiting for that, boys. That was flipping stressing me out. So. Oh, I can just relax now. Tim Bell, thank you, mate. Congratulations to the guys that won. Well done, Bobby. Yeah. Ronnie Pickett. Don't even. What have we got here? Sorry, guys, I'm just reading through the comments here. Andrew Hewitt, listen, mate. If you keep commenting on my post, you're getting blocked, lad. Stop with your flipping negativity. Oh, bullshit. Plastering firms never pay you right. Mate, you're on YouTube. I'm not a plastering firm. Give it a break. Oh. Right, gentlemen. Now, that's out the way. I'll phone those boys shortly. So, in the meantime, lads, do you know what? It's just nice having that flipping, the weight of that off my flipping shoulders. Now, gentlemen, whilst I've got you online, how's everyone doing? What's everyone been up to? Let's have a little Q&A session, eh? If any of you boys now are online and want to flipping jump in with any questions or anything you want to flipping chat about, let's have a little chin wag, because what time is it now? 8:30. We've got to at least 9 o'clock, haven't we, to have a beer and have a flipping kick back for a minute. What a day. Tell you something interesting. I don't know. Did any of you get the rain the other day? Yesterday? Did it piss down in the whole country the way it did here, because it was literally torrential rain here. We've got literally tons of shops flooded, houses flooded out from the downpour that came yesterday. I don't know if that was right across the country or not. I don't really watch the news and the weather reports and stuff, but I know yesterday was absolutely horrendous. So was that just here? Because I feel sorry for anyone that was out rendering yesterday or doing anything yesterday. Thunder and lightning early today, was it, Ronnie? Yeah, flipping heck, it was absolutely bizarre, the rain that come down yesterday. I'm just between Liverpool and Chester, so don't know what was going on, but it was like something you see on America. You know, when you see the tornadoes coming. Yeah, Omar, been some crazy downpours in Ireland as well. Yeah, flipping heck. The rain yesterday, you couldn't see if you were driving. My missus was driving. Fortunately, I wasn't. I was safe. I was in a pub. I was having a pint. But she said everyone had to pull over off the roads. You just couldn't see out the windscreen. It was that bad. So I don't know how you boys got on with that. Sparks coming off my trowel. Thought that was normal. The travelling mason, where's my IKEA drawer, Kirk? Do you want to win for something from IKEA, do you, mate? I've got nothing from IKEA to give you. I'm very sorry, my old mate. Oh. Just go through some of these comments here, flipping heck. Slow down, lads. I can't keep up with you. Madden Building and Roofing, yeah. Piss down in Sheffield. Loads of repair work coming in now. Perfect. I tell you what, you roofers will do well out of that, won't you? And well, us plasterers won't do too bad either, because there'll be loads of ceilings to patch up. But Darren McKirk, question. I put some leftover bonding on a small ceiling that is either wood chip or Artex without PVA or SPR. I forgot. How long do you think it will take to come down? Seems secure at the moment. Depends what it's on, Darren. Depends what it's on. If you're onto a bare plaster background, then potentially be okay. If you're onto paint, it's touch and go. I've bonded in the past. I've bonded over backgrounds and not used any sealer, and it's bit me in the arse, mate. You know, when you're sort of trying things out when you first get going. So I was like under the assumption, I was thinking like bonding low suction backgrounds. There's not much suction if it's been sealed with paint, so it'll be okay. That didn't work as planned. I must say about 15 years ago. Bonded an Artex sealant out and skimmed it, and the lot come down, mate. I had to go back and reboard it and skim it to get over that situation. So I don't know, mate. The best thing to do, the last thing you want is for it to come down on someone's head. So I would potentially go back and push the ceiling, flex it a little bit, and if it comes away, then at least you know it's coming away and you can repair it. It might be solid, you could push on it and it flexes and it doesn't come away, in which case, might be okay. But it's a bit risky, isn't it? Sometimes it'll be all right, sometimes it won't. All depends on the background. Let's have a look where we're at here now. Sorry, let's just go back. Ian Davis. Makes me wonder how on earth do you cope with all this work and also having a baby in the house. I'm bloody exhausted. Ian Davis, listen, mate. Right, I literally micromanage my day. I literally don't have... My day is divided up into 4 parts. That's the only way I can do it. And I sort of have like a list, a checklist for each part of the day, things I have to do. And mate, I never get through it all either. There always seems to be something left over, something not as important that I get, that I just don't get around to doing. But literally everything I do is lists. I mean, even now, I have different notepads. I've got a notepad here, mate, with things that I've got to do people I've got to call very shortly. You know, all I have is notepads and lists everywhere. It's the only way I get through everything, but I try and be as productive as possible. So it's just time management, mate, you know. And as well, I'll tell you the big thing, not letting people waste your time. So, I mean, if I'm in the middle of doing something and people start giving me nonsense, it's, listen, got to go. Sorry, I haven't got time for this. They don't like it, but sometimes you've got to just tell people straight, if I'm busy, I haven't got time to talk to you. Darren McCurk, question. Oh, you've been through that, haven't we? Ronnie, I've got a few nuts and bolts from IKEA, if that helps. Yeah, send them over to him, mate. Darren McCurk, I think it's plasterboard underneath. If you've just put bonding straight on plasterboard, you'll be fine. If the plasterboard's got paint, you might have an issue. If it's been skimmed and painted, you might have an issue. If it's been skimmed and you've gone over bare finish, then it may be fine, but it's normally a high suction background, so you would have known if you were having issues with the bonding, because it would have crazed up a little bit. But you know, see how you get on, mate. Paul Armstrong, can you patch lime plaster? Yes, you can. You can blend. I don't know which way you mean now. Can you blend lime plaster into old lime plaster, or can you blend lime plaster into new work, or vice versa? Can you blend board or multi-finish into lime plaster? But the answer is yes to all of them. Lime plaster, if you're using lime and you use lime with no aggregate, it is so fine. It's absolutely amazing for blending in. If you just bought lime by itself, you know, with no sand mixed in it, then that is very easy to patch in. And vice versa, the other way, if you wanted to, you know, patch lime work up with board finish or multi-finish, that's also doable. It all blends in, mate, to be fair. Just be aware that if you're working in a building with a solid 9-inch brick wall, and it's, I don't know what you're patching, but I'm just thinking ahead for you. If you've got a solid 9-inch wall and it's lime plastered, that lime's breathable. If you put a gypsum-based back coat on that wall, and it's an exterior wall, and it rains, that moisture that will draw through the wall hits lime, fine, lime's breathable. If you put a gypsum back coat on and then feather it in with some, you know, with board finish or multi-finish, if you use bonding or hard wall as your base coat on a solid 9-inch wall, on an exterior wall, it'll draw the moisture through and you'll get a damp patch. Maybe not straight away, maybe not in 6 months, but eventually, a year or so down the line, that will become damp because it'll draw the moisture from outside. Lime is breathable. You don't have any issues with it. Gypsum-based base coats do not work well on 9-inch solid walls, exterior walls. Just keep that in mind. If you want to go down that sort of route, then ultimately best thing to do is replace it like for like, you know, put lime plaster back in there, or use sand and cement with a waterproofing additive, or you can go down the whole putting membrane on, or, you know, there's all different systems you can do for damp walls. But ultimately, you've got to think of every 9-inch solid wall potentially as a damp wall. You've got to treat it like it's going to be damp, even if it's not now. It will be if you put gypsum-based back coats on it. Eventually, maybe not straight away, you know. But when that wall gets rain on it, that moisture will travel through over time. Boris Johnson. Boris Johnson. Fuck off, that's not your name. Boris, give us another payout, will you, mate? We all need another payout. What's an average price per meter to skim? I'll be honest with you, Boris, I'm the wrong person to ask, mate, because I don't work out price per square meter for skimming no more. When I was on site, it was price per meter, but I'm talking, I don't know how many years ago, a long time ago, 2008. I stopped working on site in the recession, and I think at the time, the price I was getting at the time was £2.50 per square meter for skimming, and it was about £2.50 per square meter for, I think it was about £5 all in all for board and skim in 2008, a long time ago. So I don't know what the prices are like now, mate. Don't know. not my field. I don't look at things price per square meter no more. I do private work. I go in, I look at the room, and I price it up what I need to earn for the day. You know, that's how I price things. I don't measure it as such. You know, if I measured everything, you know, if I'm only doing 2 bathroom ceilings one day, then I might only earn 40 quid. So it's not how I price jobs. I look at more so the time it's going to take me, you know, and also what I'm bringing to the table. So it's not just, I mean, I talk about this a lot in my coaching group. It's not just about turning up and doing the plastering the way I work. It's about all the value that goes with it. You know, how easy is it to deal with me? How prompt am I? How punctual am I? You can go and get cheap plasterers that let you down, don't turn up and make a mess. I mean, if I come and do the job for you, I'm going to be on time. I'm going to be so easy to deal with. I'll be on the case. You'll know everything that's going on, and the job will be perfect, and it'll be spotless afterwards. And I'll be checking up with you a week later to make sure everything's okay. So for that service, we pay for it. But that's going off on a different tangent. So we're not going down that route. But yeah, I don't know, mate. I don't know what the price per square meter is now, but if you can imagine that most plasterers are comfortably going to do 60 meters a day, aren't they? So 60 meters a day. If you worked it out and said, okay, if you're working out what you want to charge, I would just, and you're skimming over board work because going over old walls is slower, but let's just say a ballpark figure. Let's just pluck a number out the air. I don't know what you want to charge, but let's just say you wanted £300 a day divided by 60, £5 a metre. If you charge £5 a metre, then you should be okay, shouldn't you? You know, but I don't know, mate. I don't know if you're getting to tell the price or if they're. It used to work with me when I was on site. They told me the price. I didn't tell them. So that's why I didn't like it, because they tell you how much you're getting. And it just so happens, by the way, the faster you go, give it a month or two. Once they start looking how much is going to your bank, all of a sudden the prices seem to start going down. So, you know, I don't know. Site work is fantastic for young lads. I would say I would want every plaster to go and do site work. I think it's so important that everyone works on site at first. Good chance to practice, because you know the customer isn't breathing down your neck whilst you're doing it. So you can go in the cupboards, you can go in the shower rooms, you can go in the bathrooms, you can do the little jobs, airing cupboards under the stairs. You can practice every day. You're on the trial every day. You know, if you try and learn on domestic work, you're in someone's house. You're like now I've got young Kieran work for me. If I'm skimming someone's living room, I can't really let Kieran practice anywhere in that living room, because if it's not 100% perfect, you know, it's quite tricky. So I think learning on site is so much easier, because you've got the run of the house and no one's sort of, you know, the job's gonna be nice, but no one's really scrutinizing every little millimeter with a magnifying glass. That's one reason. Another reason is work ethic, because site work is hard work. Any boys that work on site will tell you that is graft. And I take my hat off to anyone that's doing that past the age of 30. Fair play, because it's not, site work is not easy. It is physically taxing. I mean, it's just graft. So take my hat off to the boys that are still on site now. I think once you've worked on site and you've got a good work ethic, and you're up early in the morning, you're getting your meterage done, you're getting plenty of work turned out, and you've got that mindset, then go to private work. You know, become very good at selling yourself, very good at dealing with customers. There's a lot of other bullshit that goes with being a private plasterer. There's a lot more to it. You know, you're doing a lot more stuff. You're getting materials and dealing with problems, and you know, people letting you down and all the rest of it. You know, things holding the job. There's a lot more stress involved, but you can then earn more money easier. You know, I can go and do a living room ceiling and earn more money than what I could ever earn in a whole day doing 3 mixes a day on site. Sorry, gone off on a bit of a tangent there, haven't we? Ryan89, cheers for the advice today about the distemper and the van. Honestly, the best policy. The customer went with the overboarding. Good stuff, Ryan. Yeah, me and Ryan went on a little chat earlier on. Yeah, best way, mate. Best way. Better to nip them in the bud. Nothing worse than a flipping Artex ceiling coming down on you if there's lime wash or distemper paint underneath it, mate. I agree. So I hope you get your van sorted, mate, as well. Nothing worse than having your van off the road. I know all about it. Darren McKirk, cheers, Kirk. Right, 666 woos. All right, Kirk, mate. Did my knee early 2006 carrying plasterboard on a site in Rochdale. I had to carry on too as I was self-employed. It took about 6 months and a few visits to the physio, Andy. Yeah. Do you know, this is the thing, mate? I mean, ultimately, I could have a bit of time off. I can't have 6 months off. Well, probably like, yes, I could take time off and let it rest. Let my knee get better, but I mean, I can sort of get through the days with it, you know, so I don't know. Maybe I should have made some wiser decisions earlier on when it comes to like insurance and stuff. I have public liability insurance, but I haven't got insurance that covers me. So, I mean, if I have time off, nobody pays me, which is fine, you know. I've got savings. I could sort of get through, but it's just sort of crap when you work your plums off to try and give your family a great lifestyle and save some money up, and then you start spending your savings. It's like you don't want to touch it. And I suppose you get that mindset when you're self-employed, don't you? If I can get up, I can go to work. I mean, literally, there's probably people, no offense to office workers, but if you get a cold, you have a day off, don't you? I mean, you have to be a different breed when you're self-employed. You've just got to. You would literally have to cut something off me. You'd have to cut my leg off to stop me going. You know, if I can get up and get around, I'm going to work because I've got to go and get that money. These kids need feeding, like, so I'm going. It's just the mindset you have to have, isn't it? But oh yeah, I don't know. I'll give it a couple more weeks. If it's no better, then maybe I'll go and see a physio. But we'll just see. We'll see how it goes. Michael Crawley, absolutely hate pricing jobs. Any guidance be appreciated. Oh, Michael, I'm not even going to plug my coaching group, mate, but you should be in it. But ultimately, do you know what, mate? I'll be honest with you. It's one of my favourite things to do. If I could just price jobs, and that's my job done. If I could just price the work up and have, this is the beautiful thing, if I could have loads of lads that were mint and I could trust them and rely on them and I could just price work, I'd love to just do that. But ultimately, when you send people to go and do jobs for you, they don't have the same mindset as you. It's not their name on the job. I mean, Kieran's great. I have lads that jump in and do things for me, and they're fantastic. But they have their own work as well. They don't want to solely just work for me. They want to do their own stuff as well, which is, you know, 100% understand. Because you know, if you're working for someone else, your earnings are there. Well, for me, you know, I'm giving them good money, but on their own, they're taking the profits, aren't they? So I understand they don't want to work for me permanently. But pricing jobs, I love it. I love talking to customers. I love, you know, the whole thing. It's, yeah. Advice for pricing jobs. Make it very simple for yourself. Make it very simple for yourself, right? Let's just imagine now that you are a newbie. I don't know, Michael Crawley, where you're at, mate. I don't know how long you've been plastering, right? So let's just imagine now that you've just served your time, you've just come out your apprenticeship, and you know nothing about pricing jobs, right? Here's my advice to you. This is what I'll do, mate. Go and look at the job. Have wrote down already in your diary. Have wrote down sealer, you know, PVA, SBR, whatever seal, blue grit, whatever it is you use. Write that down. Board finish. You know, bags of finish, beads, bonding, boards, adhesive, scrim. You know, have the whole list of all the gear that you know, screws, everything that you could potentially use on a job. When you turn up to look at the job, this is literally what I do. I turn up to look at the job, and I look at the room or the rooms or the house or whatever it is. So, I mean, if it's a massive job, break it into smaller jobs. If it's the whole house, break it into one room jobs. Okay, just price each individual room yourself in your own head. Just big jobs are just lots of little jobs. Okay, so just break it all down. I will walk into a room and I'll look. I'll go, okay, 2 bags on the ceiling, a bag on each wall. You know, work it out. 3 bags on the ceiling if it's thick Artex or whatever. And I will literally do it like a little tally chart. You know, bags are finished 4. I put 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, next room, 3 bags. So I'll put a little line for you, like make them into little 5s. You know, the little 4 lines in a line for you. I'll just tally it all up. PVA, SBR, beads. I tally it all up. I work my materials out literally on a little tally chart as I'm going around the job. At the bottom, I put days. So I know days. That room will take me a day. That room will take me half a day. That will take me half a day. So I'll do them in a day. That will take me 2 days, blah, blah, blah. And I tally them up as well. Now, you've got to know what you want to earn a day. And you've got to roughly know what materials cost. Round everything up because you've got to go and get it. So I just price everything at £10 a bag, basically. Finish £10. It's, what is it, £8 or something now? Just price it at £10 a bag, £10 a board. You won't lose out then. Price everything at a tenner each. You know how many days you want. Add your days on, and that's your price, mate. Now, there's other things that you can do as well. You can include a little bit of profit or whatever, but ultimately, that is the easiest way to go and price jobs up. If you start getting tape measures out and measuring things and you're doing private work, then you're going to come short because you can't just do everything by the meterage on private work. There's some things need a little bit more attention, so it's easier to look at things and just know how long they're going to take you. If I'm looking at a room and there's loads of it that needs hacking off and stuff, then I know I can't do, you know, this is going to take longer, and experience will tell you how long it's going to take you. But that's ultimately how to price a job, mate. That's how I do it. I include a little bit of profit for myself as well, a little bit of breathing room, but then there's all different things involved when you're pricing a job, you know, sales techniques, ways you can add value, so that even if you're the most expensive plasterer that goes and prices that job, many a times I'll go and look at a job and I'll be the most expensive fella there that's turned up. They'll have had 2 other quotes, 3 other quotes, whatever, and I'll be the dearest one, but I'll get the job. So there's things that you can do to add value to yourself so that the customer only wants you. But you know, that's going on a different tangent. Johnny Depp, hello, how are you, Johnny? Paul Crockford, been decorating for 25 years. Had some shit years with the wife passing. Is it too late to start plastering? First off, Paul, mate, I'm sorry to hear about your missus. Don't want to go on about it, mate, because I'm sure it's a bit of a raw nerve, mate, but I feel for you. I know if I lost my missus, mate, I'd be lost. Not just love, but life. She you know, where I fall short, she picks me up. Like, literally, she's my team player. Like, she looks after me. Like, you know, there's certain things in life that I'm not very good at, and she takes care of them, and vice versa. So, mate, to lose your team player, mate, I'm flipping gutted for you. So I'm sorry to hear that you've lost your missus. Is it too late to start plastering? Nah. No, I wouldn't say, mate. Plastering is shit money when you're learning. That's the only thing. Plastering's crap money when you're not earning nothing because you're not getting much meat, and it takes a little while to learn. So if you're starting out learning to plaster, I don't know where you're at, mate, but if you're starting to learn to plaster, what you need to do is sort of keep your own job and try and do little plastering jobs of a weekend and of an evening, so you can live off your own money. And ultimately, as you get better at plastering, you're earning more money, you're charging more money. It's tough for a year or two because you end up working flat out. But this is how a lot of fellas get into the plastering game that have already got other careers. You end up working flat out for a year because you need to build your plastering up until you're earning just as much on the weekend as what you're earning from your normal job in the week, which plastering, you can earn quite decent money. So once you're earning, you know, £300, £200, you know, £100 a day. I don't want to put words in people's sort of mouths, but you know, you can earn more than that. You can, for £500 a day plastering, it's possible. Once you're sort of earning, you know, at least £200, £300 a day plastering, then you can sort of pack your other job in then, because you know, as long as the work's coming in, you're good to go. But no, I wouldn't say. Decorating for 25 years, so what, you're probably about similar age to me, maybe a year or two older than me. I'd learn a new skill tomorrow, mate. So yeah, I would say definitely go for it. There's still plenty of time, mate. Chris Rawls. Question: how would you deal with hairline cracks in a newly plastered ceiling? Was done about a month ago, so it's all painted, etc. Noticed recently some cracks, which I think is from joist movement. Rescrew the joist where the cracks are. If they're close to joists, rescrew that section of the ceiling. Locate the joists. You can go above and, you know, with a little 2mm bit and drill either side of the joist, so you can find it below, or you can tap the. There's loads of different ways to find joists, and I can tell you now, but there'll be people on here that'll tell you 100 different ways. Find the joists, rescrew them, another layer of fibre tape over the cracks, and patch them up. See how you go with that. Ultimately, the best job is to re-skim it, or even overboard the ceiling. If the joints aren't staggered on the boards, that can cause you issues. So as long as the joints are staggered, then you should be able to re-screw it up and tape it up and patch it up. That'll probably be the easiest way. There is flexible fillers to put in the cracks and all that, but in the long run, I think they come back. Give it, you know, 6 months. That being said, if the floor above, if there's spring in the floor, then it's just going to keep happening, you know. But that's what I'll do. Re-screw the boards. Just make sure, because what you might find is when you put screws in, if it's been nailed up, it might not be tight to the joists. So when you re-screw it, you might find it pulls up tighter, and you get a few little pop nail heads, and then you know what caused it. You know, there was movement. There was a little bit of play in the boards. So you might find that situation. Hopefully that'll be the situation, and that's job done. You're sorted, like, you know. Right, Paul Armstrong, thanks, mate. Marlin Building and Roofing. In our latest loft conversion, there's a double turn staircase for the underneath plastering. We've built it out with 2B1 battens and expanding mesh for the curve. Just wondering how would approach it. Yeah, so these, mate, you have to have I know what you mean, underneath the staircase, and it sort of like twists round. You've got to have your artistic license if you're the plasterer on that, because expanding metal lath it, and then you want to float it with bonding. So you're going to need 2 coats of bonding, like a pricking up coat, which it's not going to look neat straight off the bat. As soon as you start filling that expanding metal lath out, it's going to look like a cat's ass. It's going to just be a mess getting it. I mean, not a mess. You can do a neat job of it, but it ultimately doesn't look great. So you want to fill it all out of bonding first. Give it a bit of a key, because the next coat of bonding is going to be a bit thicker as well. Once that's set, it's better if you can do it once it's set and put another coat on, not once it's dried out. So what I mean by that is, put your first coat of bonding on the expanding metal lath first thing in the morning, and by dinner time, once that's gone dark, put another coat on. If you leave it till the next day, it'll be high suction, and when you're trying to put your bonding on, you'll struggle with it. You're trying to smooth it off and stuff, because it'll start dragging and tearing, because it's got suction from the background. So you'd have to seal it and then put your next coat on. So put your next coat on, and ultimately you've got to sort of just, there's no set way to it. It's just a bit of a case of just following it with the trowel and finding, you know, where the trowel dips in. You might have to build it up a bit more, use the toe of the trowel in certain places. But ultimately, it's good to know when you've built it out of bonding and you've got it all and there's no big lines and you've filled it all out as best as you can to the shape of the curves. Whoever's done that will ultimately have the right sort of you remember which way the trowel went and which parts. So when you come to skim it, that trowel's got to go the same. Like you might find there's a little bit where it's a tight curve and the trowel only goes one way. You have to do, finish it with the toe of the trowel in that little part. It's good to know that the same fella skims it, because that'll be the same case for the skimming. I wish I could give you more advice on that. Some fellas say use a pool trowel, but I find I can do nearly anything with my normal 14-inch by 4-inch, 4.5-inch carbon steel trowel. You can get all those funny shapes. Some bits you just have to use the toe of your trowel, but ultimately with that's about as best as it can give you, mate. It's got to have that artistic license, whoever does it. Jimmy's Building Services, bonding and hardware wicks in the moisture. It's called wicking. Yes, Jimmy. Do you know what, mate? Flipping glad I got you guys backing me up. Yeah, it's wicking. It's basically the way a wick works on a candle, where it draws moisture through. It's wicking. Thanks for that, mate. That we're talking about on a 9-inch solid wall there as well, by the way, guys. Danny Arbuckle, bring back lime plaster. Danny, I don't understand it, mate. This is pissing me off. This is not having a stand here. I need to order a stand. I need to write down my list. Order a stand for my phone from Amazon. I don't understand why lime isn't being used permanently. Don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. I'm with you, Danny. Bring back lime plaster. Lime is easier to work with. It takes longer. It's a bit more of a drawn-out process than using board finish and multi-finish. Takes a little bit longer. But ultimately, it's easier to work with. It's nicer to work with. And you don't have damp and mold problems. I don't know why the whole industry is using board finish and multi-finish. Now, yes, there's a cost issue now. People say, oh, it's because of the cost, because it's so expensive. But it's supply and demand. So because it's not that widely used, of course it's going to be more expensive, because it's like a specialist thing. If it was just literally used everywhere, then it'd be cheaper, wouldn't it? So I've got my own thoughts on it. Now, I might be 100% wrong. And if anybody knows better than me, then I welcome you to educate me. Here's my thoughts on why we don't use lime. Planned obsolescence. Like you buy a car and it's designed to fall apart within 10 years. They can make cars that last a lot longer. Trust me, I've got a Toyota Hilux Mark III. They can make cars that last 30 years, right? Because that thing's got nothing wrong with it. So I know that they can do it. But they literally design it into the car to start perishing after 10 years. So they fall apart. You have to buy new parts and ultimately buy new cars. I understand planned obsolescence. A lot of people say it's all bullshit and there's no such thing, but trust me, cars in the 1930s were made to last. Now, I don't know. Look at how we build houses now. Thermalite block. Would you want a house built out of thermalite? I'm sorry if any of you guys have got thermalite blocks in your houses. That is probably the flipping biggest load of shit you have ever built anything out of. Blocks that are just like flipping sponges, just they're horrendous to plaster over. You only have to look at them and they crack. I could go on to so many things, new houses, the floors are made of chipboard, the joists are made of chipboard, still on end. I mean, what's water going to do to that if you have a leak? Water and chipboard just fall apart, so that's joists getting replaced. I do believe that there's such a thing as planned obsolescence in the building game. And I think it's been there for a while. And in my opinion, using gypsum-based plasters is part of that. Board finish and multi-finish, we know they get damp. We know they hold moisture. We know that, mold grows on the surface. We know lime. I mean, look at the Roman structure. There's still stuff built by the Romans from lime that has survived today. Lime basically heals itself. It fixes itself when it gets wet. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think that's what's going on. But I'm with you, Danny. Bring back lime. Imagine me, I'd probably get myself bumped off by British Gypsum, won't I? Imagine Kirk disappears from YouTube. Someone from British Gypsum put a hit on him. Yeah, Ronnie Barker, come back the day after, Dan. Lime Days, flipping superior product. Oh, please. Boris Johnson. Great, cheers, Kirk. I'm the same. I just charge what I think the job is worth, make sure it's fair, and I'm happy with what I earn. Roughly £30 an hour. Yeah. Yeah, we've all got different ways of doing it, mate. Ronnie Barker. Boris, any jobs going? Homer, what are you drawing? It says live draw. Are you drawing anime characters? Let me see. Homer, sorry, mate, you missed it. We did a live draw for the DeWalt cordless whisk mixer. Subscribe to my channel, mate. Potentially in the future. Nothing set in stone yet. There's no plans for any other live draws as of yet, but I'm sure there will be. From time to time, we do draws where I'll post a video with a link in the description. You can click on the link. You can buy a ticket for the live draw. Whatever we're raffling off, could be a trowel, could be a mixer. We've done a day with me, different things. Usually for peanuts, mate. Always less than 20 quid, and then we do a live draw. So tonight we've given away a DeWalt cordless mixer with 2 9-amp-hour batteries. A DeWalt mixer worth about 700 quid. We've given away a speed skim, 1200 speed skim, because there was a little bit of money left over in the kitty. So that's what the draw was tonight, mate. So potentially there'll be more draws in the future, but we'll see. My YouTube channel is not a raffle channel. I like doing stuff for you guys, me subscribers. You know, you guys tune in and watch me, and it's flipping fantastic. So my little way of showing appreciation is if I can give something away for very cheap, like because I don't want to encourage gambling. Like don't want to encourage, if someone's got a gambling problem, I don't want to be the flipping fuel in it. But ultimately, if we do a giveaway, it's like 8 quid, and you gamble 8 quid, like it's not going to be a life changing. You're not going to. The kids are still going to be fed. You know what I mean? So I don't. And it's a little way of I can give a great prize away for peanuts, basically. So. But ultimately, mate, I'm not in it to try and profit from gambling and stuff. I just, whatever I sort of get in, if I can buy prizes, I give them away. And I mean, this time round, there's probably about 70 quid left over in the kitty that I'm taking for me, for all my hassle doing it. So thereabouts, might 70 something quid. I don't know. Not a lot. By the time I've paid for the mixer and the Amazon costs and the flipping speed skim with the pole attachments, there's going to be roughly 70 quid left for me. And if you guys don't think it's too bad that I just keep that for me, then if you want to call me out and say you fucking ripped us off, give us another prize, fair enough. But I think that's fair enough that I keep a little bit for myself for all my troubles, if you don't mind too much, gentlemen. So I get something out of all the hassle I've been through to do it. I'll tell you something. I'm probably going to get shot in the foot here, because when it comes to doing my tax return at the end of the year, they're going to look at how much has come in. I'm probably going to have to pay tax on it also. I'll probably lose out, but we'll see how things go. Who've we got here now? Faruk, hey bro, Turkish fan, Merhaba, my friend. Jimmy's Building Services, get yourself a knee brace to help with the bend and the knee. Helps keep everything in place, but don't use them all day. They do work. Decent one is only 50 quid, mate. To be honest, mate, I had a knee brace, tried it on, used it for a little while. The Velcro was really pissing me off in the crease of my knee at the back, so I couldn't get along with it. But I mean, that was like 2.5 weeks ago, so I might have to give it another go, because at the minute nothing's getting any better. So, and 666 Woos has said, yeah, defo mate, didn't have any time off because I didn't get paid either, so work through it. Yeah, self-employed, mate. Homer, Homer's gone. He didn't see the live draw, so he's checked out. Adios, mate. Justin Walker. Hi, buddy. How's things? Been a spread for 20 years now. Love the channel. Great, mate. Must admit, mate. Times are all right. I'm enjoying work. I've got a little son. Got a little baby boy, mate. Life's good. Life's treating me well, you know. But I'm not naive to how the world works, so I know there's going to be a shitstorm come at some point, but at the minute, put that light back on. At the minute, life's treating me quite well. So, plenty of work. Can't do enough work, mate. There's always too much work coming in. You know, the YouTube channel seems to be going quite well. I get to enjoy you guys. So, no complaints. Life's good, mate. Thanks for asking. Jimmy, I've got a 25 odd board sealing to do on Tuesday, either going to PVA or rolling set, not decided what way. Going to do it yet. Definitely a few bags of extra time. Yeah, I prefer rolling set. Just so I know, because I know my timings with the finish, so I prefer a rolling set. If any of you guys are interested in rolling set, I've got a video on that, so just type it in and you'll find it in my videos. How to do a rolling set. Justin Walker, who won the drill? Justin, who won the drill? Brad Watmore, 92 at Yahoo. Brad Watmore. I'm assuming I've got to phone these guys up in a minute, so I'm assuming his name is Bradley Watmore. So I might be wrong. You never know. People have all sorts of crazy email addresses. But Brad Watmore won the drill, and Bobby Heathrow won a speed skim. Jimmy's built. Danny, have you sorted out Dave Kirk yet, mate? Jimmy, trying to pin Danny Arbuckle down to work a day with me, mate, is like flipping trying to herd squirrels. Danny Arbuckle, right, will you please sort a day out with me when we can go and do a job together, because you've won it, mate. You know, you've been to Thailand and back. Just nip up here and come and see me, or tell me where you're at, I'll come and see you. Let's get this day done, Danny. Let's make a video and get it flipping out there. I must admit, me and Danny, we do communicate quite a bit. In fact, Danny's messaged me earlier because he's keeps in close contact with me, Danny, and I'm due to jump on a phone call with him, so I'll be on the phone to Danny shortly and we'll see if we can get this boxed off. He usually pops up in the comments, so I don't know where he's gone. Journey of the Common Man. What's your thoughts on Corksol products, Kirk? Corksol. So, if any of you boys follow Stuart Roberts, he's on Facebook, Plasterers Help Group. Stuart Roberts, and my mind goes blank when I go live. Why is it when I'm on camera, my flipping brain goes blank? Joel Cook, Rendervate. These boys are big on Corksol. So if you're on YouTube and you follow Joel Cook or Stuart Roberts, these boys are the guys to ask about Corksol. I can't give you my opinion because I've never used it. I don't even really know. I haven't looked into it. I've heard of it because I've heard these boys bash on about it on the Facebook, but I've never actually seen it being used. I don't know what it is or how it works. Bit naive of me, you know. I sort of try and confess to being a bit of an expert in the field, like, but I don't even know nothing about this stuff. So I'll have to do my homework. Can't give you my opinion, mate, because I don't know nothing about it. But if I must admit, if Joel and Stuart are happy with it, then I'm sure it's a good product. But I just, as of yet, haven't used it. Oh, hello. There's the wife. Car key, please. Car key. Sorry, boys. Where are you going?
I need to let the park. I'm just nipping the shop in a minute.
All right, sweetheart.
Thank you.
Love you. See you soon. All the visitors tonight. James Carr, well done. Whoever won it, brilliant. That little tip on pricing with the material list. Cheers. Glad you enjoyed that, James. Paul Crockford, thanks for the kind words and especially the encouragement earlier to plaster. Should do a course, loads of money. Yeah, who was it that used to say that? Bish bash bosh, loads of money. Harry, was it Harry Enfield? Short as Harry Enfield, loads of money. Or carry on watching your vids and get practice. Oh, should I do a course or carry on watching your vids and get practice? Right, what would I advise? Right, okay. Should you go on a course of plastering? If you've got spare money, that will make it faster because you can get one-to-one tuition. Now, right, I'm a time served plasterer, so I'm not gonna, because there's loads of time served plasterers that kick up loads of shit about lads that have done a week's course and are out there plastering. Right, here's the thing: plastering is going to take skimming at least. It's going to take about a year to master. So if you go and do a course with somebody, they will literally be able to show you hands-on, look, you're doing that wrong, hold this like this, do this like this, and that will turbo. You'll learn quite quick. You'll progress the first couple of stages, how to use a handboard and trowel and how to get it on the wall and what have you. You'll pick that up a bit quicker. But ultimately, it's going to take about a year for you to become very good at it because you've got to be in different situations. You've got to be in different circumstances. I could stand behind me mum now and teach her to plaster a wall over plasterboard and stand behind her and she'll get a good finish. But when she's on a job where there's different suctions from different backgrounds and there's a window reveal and it's not straight, and that's what takes the time. That takes its experience. So a course won't give you experience, but it will jumpstart you. If you've got the spare cash to go and do a course, then yes, you will progress quite fast. But ultimately, then you need to go and practice by yourself. You can watch YouTube videos and pick it up. I mean, watching someone on a screen and watching someone in person isn't much different, apart from the fact that you can't ask them questions instantly. So yeah, you can learn watching YouTube videos, and there is fellas that have done that, and that works fine. It'll take a little bit longer. A course will just speed you up a little bit, but if you really wanted to learn fast, jump in with another plasterer, find a plasterer local to you, and go and work with him. That is the best way, the fastest way, you know. And ultimately, to get in with someone, no one probably wants to just take people on and just because, say, like now, if a lad had come up to me and wanted a job, what they're basically saying is, in my head, Kirk, can I have some of your wages? Because when they come to work with me, first off, they don't know how to do anything. So they just cost money straight off the bat. You know, they're in there, they're not mixing things right, they're dropping things, they're getting things wrong, they're causing problems until they learn, which is fine. It's everybody has to learn. It's the same for everybody. But ultimately, when you go with someone straight off the bat, you're costing that person money. You're not making them any money, and you won't make them money for a good while. You are going to be a cost. So Kieran, if you're listening, my apprentice, if you're listening, Kieran, it's time for you to start earning me money, because ultimately for a while they just cost you money because they're not producing anything. There's just another man to pay, another man to feed. So here's my advice to you: if you can afford it, this would be the fastest way to learn. Rather than paying for the course or paying to go to college, instead go to another plasterer, and instead of paying him, because you'd have to do that, offer your services for free. Say, can I work with you? I just want to work with you on the weekends or when you can fit me in. Let me come and help you. And I don't want nothing for it. I just want to help you so I can learn. Most fellas aren't arseholes. If you approach them like that, there's no obligation to them. They don't feel like they're going to lose money straight away. But most fellas aren't assholes and will have you work for nothing. Most fellas at the end of the week will go, there's a few quid, appreciate your help. But it's just a nice little way to get in with someone, offering your services for free. I mean, ultimately, if you go on a course, you have to pay, so it's not just free, it's costing you. If you work with someone, you're getting one-to-one with that person permanently. Site work is going to be easier to get into than domestic work because, as I've been through, site work's easier to learn on. So you can sort of be putting cupboards, you can be put under the stairs, you can be doing like little ensuite bathrooms on site, whereas private work, you know, people don't really want someone practicing in the house. But to get on site, you're going to need a CSCS card. So that would be my advice to you, mate. If anyone wants to break into the game of plastering, go and get a CSCS card, and then go and find some plasterers on building sites, and offer your services. Say, look, I don't even need paying. I just want to learn. Can I just jump in with you? And if I'm no good after the week, you can get rid of me. No hard feelings. I mean, you're going to work hard. You're going to get in there, aren't you? And ultimately, these fellas are going to pay you. So I know it seems counterproductive, but I'm just thinking from a plasterer's point of view. You've got another man coming up to you, you know, and you trying to get a start. Someone is asking someone to, you know, oblige, make an obligation to pay you, an extra person that's not going to profit them. So that's the sort of way I'd approach it. I know it's not ideal, mate, but it's a foot in the door. You know, it's going to take you about a year to get skimming fairly well, and then you can decide where you want to go from there. I've been plastering for a number of years now, and like most, I'm learning every day. I appreciate your posts. Let's pick up new things from you often. So cheers, Kirk, my man. Yeah, appreciate it, Peely. Andrew Barraclough, evening, Kirk. I hope you're well. Cheers, Andrew. Justin Walker, how's your younger worker who works with your buddy? You're teaching him well. Nice, clean, tidy spread. Yeah, young Kieran. Young Kieran does a bit of travelling. He's been all over Europe. So when he started with me, I told him, whilst you're young and you've got no commitments, one thing that I really wish I had done when I was younger, because you know how it goes, boys. You get married, you get your mortgage, you get your payments and your bills and your kids, and all of a sudden, you've gone from being like free and single to caught on a girl, and you wake up married with kids and bills, and you're sort of like, not trapped. I've got to watch how I say this. Not trapped, but you're sort of like locked into a life where you've got commitments. So I said to Kieran, before life gets hold of you by the bollocks, go and travel. Go and save up some money. Go to Europe, go to Thailand, go to India, go and see the world, mate, because you can do it now whilst you're young. And I said to him, you'll always have a job when you come back with me. I don't care if you go for, I mean, this is what we're saying about you not, Kieran ultimately cost me money at first, you know, so him going off travelling wasn't a big deal to me because I can do what he does myself. I can mix my own plaster. I can clean up myself. It's not a big deal, you know. He's plastering a bit, Kieran, now, so he's earning a couple of quid, but he went off and travelled all around Europe, and he's met a couple of different blokes, and last weekend he's gone off down to Newark, wherever that is. I don't even know where. I'm not very good at geography, but he went off to Newark, a few hours drive from us, and for a fellow that he met travelling, I'm going to plaster his hall stairs and landing. So he met people when he was travelling that he's kept in touch with, and he's doing plastering jobs for them. So he's doing well, the lad. He's just been to skim the hall stairs and landing, so he's come back made up of himself because that's the biggest job he's done by himself now. You know, for me, he's done little rooms and stuff by himself, but he's just been and done a full hall stairs and landing. So, and he earned a few quid as well. So he's quite happy with himself. Right, Danny Arbuckle, here he is. Jimmy. Here's Danny with his little laughy faces in the comments. I better get it done before I get back. Hernia up, mate. Danny Arbuckle, right? Everyone keeps asking me about when we're doing this job together. So if you don't know, I raffled off a day, working a day with me. Either I come to you or you come to me. You can, whatever. You just win me for the day, basically, so I can give you a day's plastering tuition. Danny's a plasterer, so he doesn't need tuition off me. We're just going to work together and have a crack and have a laugh together, and probably make a video out of it. But everyone keeps asking me, when's it happening? When are you going to work with Danny? And here he is. Right. Everyone get on Danny's case and pin him down so I can get this done, because I've basically got to go and do a day's work somewhere, and he flipping won't commit to it. He won't give me a day when he wants me to go and see him or when he's coming to see me. So here he is, Danny Arbuckle. This is your man. This is the guy that's holding it up. Give him some stick. Also, cool map. Cheers, mate. Oxfordshire plastering. I missed the start of the live feed. Mrs. on her way back from Spain, so running around getting the house cleaned and tidied so I don't get in the bad books. Well done to her with a 1. Good. Yeah, good. Nice to hear from you, mate. To be fair, Gord, do you know what, mate? I've been meaning to send you a WhatsApp message. I do appreciate when you're touching with me from time to time, mate. And the last message you sent me was much appreciated. So nice one, mate. You're a gentleman. Pure blood. I like the sound of that. Someone didn't have the COVID jab. Pure blood Ninpo. Hello, Kirk. I'm a roofer joiner. Done a bit of plastering in mine and family and enjoy watching you. Would like to do a course or learn more because of you. I would love to have a few days of you. Well, I don't know where you're based, mate. I don't know where you're based. I've had a lad reach out to me from Northwich, not far away from me, and he's going to come and jump on a job with me. Now, ultimately, guys, you remember I haven't priced in for anybody to come and sort of help me. But if you're close to me and you want to come and jump in with me, I mean, I'll have to meet you first. Don't take this the wrong way. I'll have to check you're not a fucking lunatic. I can't just take lunatics on jobs with me. But if you want to come and if you're not far from me, mate, and you want to drop me a line sometime, we can meet up. And if you know, I enjoy life, right? I'm not wrapped up in business all the time now. I have I want to enjoy work, enjoy everything I do, just have great fun living my life. So if someone wants to come and jump in with me for the day and have a crack and have a laugh, and I can teach you a few things and what have you, then I'm all up for it. Okay, it doesn't have to be super serious. We can. If you're not far away from me and you're not a nutter, promise me you're not a lunatic, and you want to come and jump in with me for the day, mate, then you're more than welcome. And obviously, you know, if you do a bit of plastering and you can put a bit on the wall and it's great, then I'm sure we can sort out giving you a couple of quid as well. But touch base with me. My email address is in the channel description, so drop me an email, mate, and swap details, and we'll sort it out if you're not a million miles away. I'm near Chester, Liverpool, Chester. I'm not far from Chester, so if you're Liverpool centre of the country sort of thing, you know, northwest, I'm not a million miles from Liverpool. Bobby Hevro, 1, 2, 3. Binge drawn yet? Just got on. Bobby, you want a speed skim, Bobby Hevro, 1, 2, 3. Right, I'm going to phone you shortly, mate. So I'm glad you've just come on here, mate. Bobby Havro, no, you didn't win the Brad Watmore. I wonder if Brad's on here. Brad, if you're watching this thing, can you comment as well, mate? Because you've won. Brad Watmore won the whisk. Bobby Havro, you've won a speed skim, mate. So you'll be getting a phone call shortly. Joe Glabus. Sorry, hi, Woollyback. Hope you're well. Woollyback. So Joe Glabus, he's got to be a scouser, hasn't he? It's only scousers that call me Woollyback. I'm all right, mate. I'm good. Thanks for asking. Journey of the Common Man. Would you use half-time in a rolling set? No. No, I wouldn't, mate, because I use a rolling set when the gauge is too big for me to get in a standard gauge, you know, with the standard setting time. So because I'm trying to get more, say the ceiling is a 10 bag ceiling, yeah, say the ceiling's 10 bags in total, then I know that's, you know, that's pushing it. I'm not going to be able to skim that in a standard gauge. It's gonna go off, you know. If I'm going to put 5, 6 bags of finish on my own before I can start second coating, I'm going to be losing it. So I wouldn't try and speed the setting time up. A rolling gauge, you know, I would do that to prolong the set. You know, no, I wouldn't. That's the easiest way of saying it. It gets a bit complicated talking about rolling sets if you haven't seen the video, but no. no accelerator in it, mate. Definitely not. Danny Arbuckle, definitely go to Thailand, Kieran. Right, well, Kieran's dropped a clanger. Kieran's now in a relationship and he's loved up, so he ain't going nowhere. He's found the chick, and you know what, boys, don't need to tell you, do I? I don't need to tell you how it goes. Kieran's loved up. He's got his girlfriend. They're smooching every night and flipping. He's buying her presents and all the rest of it. Kieran ain't going nowhere no more. Not without his missus with him anyway. So forget travelling now. That's it. He can be going to he'd be going to Spain next, and that's it. Him and his missus sat round the pool. His travelling days are done. James Carr, right? I'm out of here. Bedtime, big day tomorrow on site. Appreciate your channel, Kirk. By the way, I used to be on my wife's account, Jenny Carr, but now using my own just in case you thought I was a newcomer. Yes, James, yes, I remember that, mate, because I was thinking, isn't it funny how women are commenting? And I remember you saying last time that it was you and your missus' account, so nice to have you with us, mate. Anyway, good night, God bless, mate. I'm going to call it a day soon myself. It's 9:30 now, so I'll just blitz through these comments, boys. If you've got anything you want to say, then get it out off your chest now, because I'm going to blitz through these comments and then I'm logging off. I'm going to finish this beer and have another one, and that's me done. Danny Arbuckle said, definitely going to make a video. Think I'll come to you, mate. How much are you paying? Oh, this is getting worse. Do I have to pay you as well, Danny? All right, we'll sort something out. His little laughy faces at the end of it. I'm sure we'll sort something out, mate. Pure blood, Liverpool, Crosby. You're only up the road from me, mate. We're not far. We could meet up for a pint. You're not far away, mate. Chris Swan. All right, lad, do you skim right on top of fireboard, pink board, or seal with PVA? The rest is normal board except the bead. Okay, do you skim over fireboard? Yes, right, you can skim straight on top of fireline plasterboard. Now, anyone that's skimmed on top of fireline plasterboard will tell you it does dry in slightly faster than standard. If you skim over standard board, when you skim over fireline board, it dries. It's got a little bit more suction. So you could PVA it if you wanted to. It's only moisture-resistant plasterboard, which you can skim over. We used to skim over them day in, day out on building sites. We used to put moisture-resistant plasterboards in the bathrooms and skim them. Fine, no issues. But if you look on the product data sheet for a moisture-resistant plasterboard, British Gyp says it should be treated with thistle bondit, which is like Blue Grit, but thistle's version that cost a fucking fortune. But fireboard, no, you're good to just skim over it, but it does suck in a bit faster, so maybe 50-50 PVA, PVA and water, just to give yourself a little bit of breathing space with it. It's not rapid. I mean, you can still get a decent sized gauge on, but it will pull in just a little bit quicker. Oh yes, sorry, mate. The rest is normal board except the beam. Yeah, so the metal, your RSJ has been boxed in with fireline board. Yeah, standard, isn't it? You'll be all right. Just skim it. You'll be fine. Noel Catcher. Hello, everyone. How you doing, Noel? Jimmy's Building Services. Danny, go up and do a day as soon as. Jimmy, how long ago was it, Jimmy? I don't even know how long ago it was that Danny won that. You just can't motivate the lad, can you? I'm only messing. Danny's a busy man, isn't he? He's busy. He's been to Thailand for a month, so pure blood. I'm not a lunatic. I'm not quite there yet. Sound, come and do a day with me, mate. I'll take your word for it. I'm not joking. Listen, go on my channel description. My email address is in there. Send me a message. I connect with loads of guys on here. Loads of these guys on my subscribers. We every day. There's someone messaging me or what have you, mate. I'm not. I'm probably not your typical YouTube type of guy. I'm just a genuine bloke, or I try and be as genuine as possible. If any of you guys want to contact me, have a chat with me, or phone me up, and that it happens all the time. Get on the description. email me, or you can find me on Facebook. I'm not going to put my phone number out here just on YouTube, because I just don't want people having too much access to me dead easy. But I'm not hard to find. If you go on Facebook, you'll find me easy enough. I'm not, you can Google search me. I'm not that hard to get hold of. You can call me up, like, it's not a problem. I have little chit chats with fellas all the time. So just remember, I work. So I'm busy. I'm not talking just solely to you, pure blood. I work. I work sole trader, so I'm a busy guy. I do my YouTube stuff. I've got my family stuff. So please don't think if I sort of cut a phone call short, like, if I haven't got time to talk, don't take it personally. I'm quite busy as well. But if I've got time, I've got all the time in the world to talk to people, mate. Danny Arbuckle, it's been that long, I forgot I've actually won sometimes. So wind up, any Danny. Michael Dix, evening pal, hope you're well. Cheers, Michael. Gentlemen. No catcher. Hello, my friend, I miss you. Bobby Hevro. Yes, little clappy hands from Bobby Hevro, the winner. Jimmy saying it'll be a laugh to work with Danny. Joe Glabus. Kieran is done, poor lad. Stick to water and you'll be a rich man. Oh, do you know what? A fellow I used to work with said to me, he goes, he said, listen, lad, he said, forget women. He said, you'll never have money if you like women. He said, take it from me. He said, I've been married, I've got no money left. He said, the best thing you can do is get yourself a nice boyfriend with a good job. He said, two fellas earning a wage. He said, don't be wrong, being gay can be a bit of a pain in the arse from time to time, but you'll have loads of money in the future. Yeah, you're right though. Kieran's finished, mate. He's got, to be fair, he's got a beautiful missus. He's got a good looker. She's a lovely looking girl, and she's got a lovely. I've met her twice now. Kieran's chick. She's stunning. I think everyone's when you're like 19, 20, everyone's stunning, aren't they? There's not many rough looking 19, 20-year-olds, that they're all good looking, aren't they? And the hair and the makeup and everything's perfect, and she's a lovely girl as well. So he's quite smitten with her. Fair play to him, she is a nice girl. Where are we up to here now? Michael Dix, sorry, I'm just reading Danny's comments. It was hidden by YouTube because he said rude things, but anyway, he didn't say nothing bad. Michael Dix, since watching you, Kirk, SBR all day, PVA's no good. Yeah, PVA's got its place. I still use PVA in certain situations, but SBR is fantastic stuff. Chris one, cheers. Right, boys, I'm just going to blitz through these comments and I'm logging off. I'm going. I've got a beer to drink and I've got to go and get me bed for tomorrow. Coco Chanel 1, my doggy. That's a flipping good old YouTube name. Hi mate. Peely, I'm due a newish van. What do you recommend, Kirk? For vans, mate. So, what do I recommend for the van? Right, I've got a Crafter, Volkswagen Crafter. I love it. Now, saying that, the engine has just blown up and I've just had the top end of it rebuilt, but it has done 140,000 miles. So, I don't know. I'll tell you what I like about my Crafter. It's 3.2 meters in the back long. I got a medium wheelbase. Specifically, I picked the exact van that I wanted. I specifically wanted a van at least 3 meters long, but not massive. I didn't want a long wheelbase or an extra long wheelbase like the big Sprinters. It's too big for me. I wouldn't be able to park it up. I can drive, you know what I mean? But what I don't mean I can't park it. I mean, you can't park in parking spaces. It's just too big. So I can't go shopping and stuff like that, I've got the missus's car, but you know what I mean? When you want to nip to the shops at dinner time and you're flipping in a bus, you can't park up, can you? So I personally wanted a 3 meter space in the back of the van. So I've got a medium wheelbase, high top crafter because I wanted to be able to walk in the back of the van with plasterboards and be able to stand up. So that's why I got that van. Before that, I had a Vauxhall Vivaro short wheelbase. Fantastic van, lovely. It was like driving a car, dead nippy. No problem with it, apart from I couldn't fit boards in the back. I had to have a roof rack, and guaranteed, if I put boards on the roof, it'd piss down. So that's why I didn't want one of those. Before that, I had a transit van, and 8x4s fit in the back of that, lovely. But it was a bit slow, a bit sluggish. My crafter is quite nippy. Now, all that being said, I love my van. It's ideal for me. If I could say what I love Toyotas. A Toyota Hiace is going to run forever, but you can't fit boards and stuff in the back of them that easy. So depends what you want. I mean, if you're on site and you're not carrying material around with you, get yourself a Toyota Hiace. If you're doing private work and you need to carry boards and coving and stuff, then I would say your VW Crafter medium wheelbase or they're basically a Sprinter. The VW Crafter and the Mercedes Sprinter, I think, are the same, just different badges, bit of a different shaped grille. Medium wheelbase is ideal for plastering. That's what I'd recommend. But I can't knock the Vivaro either. The fact that it's a pain in the ass to get in and out the back, you've got to crawl. I like being able to walk in my van, so Jimmy's Building Services. Oh, there. Yeah, Jimmy's Building Services. Well done. The winners. I'm off now. Good night to all. Kirk, the next video I want to see is your video with Danny. That's more of a message to Danny. Danny's replied, we'll sort it soon, mate. Well, listen, I'm just... let's moving on. Margot, quick one, Kirk. Do you find any need for SBR fireproof slabs, mate? Do you find any need to SBR fireproof slabs, mate? I don't know. What do you mean by... Margot, what do you mean by fireproof slabs? Are we talking about cement board? Give me a little bit more context, mate, or just let me know exactly what you mean. If it's like fireproof, I'm assuming you're talking about cement board, and if you are, then yes, cement board sucks like a bitch. I'll be more inclined to, depending on the cement board, maybe even grit it, just because there's not much key. You have to give me a bit more context, mate. Peely, I'm in Bristol, so need something for around town, so not too big. Yeah, I think my medium wheelbase crafter, mate, I can park it up in parking spots. It overhangs a bit, but it's not horrendous, you know. Flipping some of these YouTube names. Whatchamacallit. Great videos and advice. You've forgotten more than most now. Flipping forgotten more than most, mate. Oh, sorry, boys. I need to get a stand. I can't work like this. It's doing me head in. I need to get a new stand. Yeah, mate. Flipping heck. Do you know sometimes people ask me stuff and my head goes, and then later, like with these fireboards, I'll probably get in bed later and go, oh, I know exactly what he means. I remember seeing such and such, but yeah. Before skimming, red slabs. No, red slabs. So if you're talking about fireline boards, mate, no, just skim them. You can SBR them if you wanted to. Look, plaster boards, you can skim straight over them. It doesn't matter if it's even though on the data sheet it says that they need sealing with a grit, you can skim over literally every plasterboard. You don't need to seal them. It works. It doesn't come off ultimately. But if boards have been up for a long time, then I'd seal them. If I go to someone's living room and they've boarded the ceiling, you know, some jobs are just like this. You know, ideally the customer doesn't do this, but it does happen. I've turned up to jobs and they've had the extension boarded 6 months ago, you know, and there's been a hole on the job whilst they're waiting for more money to come through or whatever. If boards have been up for a long time, then they dry in faster. So if boards have been up for a couple of months, I'll seal them before I skim them. If they've been up for a week, fine. If 2 weeks, fine. But, you know, if they've been up for more than a month, then I'd seal plasterboards. But ultimately, you don't need to seal any plasterboards. Right. Pure blood, later on. Right, guys. That's it. That's the end of the comments. Whew. Flipping head's frazzled. It's not frazzled. Just, you know what it's like. It's been a pleasure. Congratulations again to the winners. Condolences for everyone that didn't win. I hope you all have a great day tomorrow. I'm going to log off. Peely's just put, just to let you know, my 10-year-old son takes over my YouTube and called it Peely. I'm Bomber. Well, Bomber, spot on, mate. I tell you, the last fella I knew was Bomber. Do any of you boys ever watch Auf Wiedersehen, Pet? Wasn't the Auf Wiedersehen, Pet, the joiner, big ginger fella? He was called Bomber, wasn't he? If I'm right in thinking. Sure, he was called Bomber. Auf Wiedersehen, Pet. Andy Newton, have a good week, everybody. Thanks, Kirk. Bobby Heathrow. Kirk, give us a bell tomorrow between 10 and 11. Okay, mate. Okay, Bobby, I'll be on the phone to you, mate. We need your, I need your address. All I do, mate, is I order these things off Amazon. So I'm going to put your address into my Amazon and get that speed skim and attachment sent straight out to you. So as soon as I get your address, mate, tomorrow, you'll have it the day after because I'm an Amazon Prime member. So you'll have it within a minute, mate. Andy Newton. Have a good week, everybody. Thanks, Kirk. Andy Newton, yes, wrestler, Bomber, Pat Roach. That's it, Pat Roach. And you. And Auf Wiedersehen, Pet. Probably the best series in the world. I fucking love watching that. Right, gentlemen. It's been a pleasure. It's been emotional. Thanks for your time. I love you all. Good night. God bless. Ciao.